When I teach multiplication, I teach it beginning to end. I don't stop at 3 plus 3. You know, here in Alberta, by the end of grade 7, we expect them up to 7 times 7. By the end of grade 3, we expect them to know up to 7 times 7. Why stop at 7 times 7? What's the magic to 7 times 7? When I work with the 5.5 or the 6-year-old, once they understand multiplication, that's it. We go all the way up. If they can do 7 times 7, they should be able to do 61 times 61 in their heads, by the way. That's another key difference between what we do and what any other system I know does. I place a very strong emphasis on complete numeracy. In other words, one's ability to manipulate numbers in one's head effortlessly and easily. The 61 times 61 should be just as easy as 3 times 3 because it is the same thing. If you understand one, you should understand the other. And you should be able to do it almost as effortlessly. 61 times 61 maybe will take you another second, but not a whole lot more. If you understand the underlying logic, if your understanding is, you know, Mr. 61 and Mr. 61 walked into a limo and hit a bump in the road and out came Mr. God knows what, the human memory can only memorize so much if it doesn't make sense. So we make sure that it all makes sense. So the covering of the material, the visiting of concepts is done at the deepest level. Yeah, and we spend time on it. But what we also find is that when you teach a concept properly, when it's based on complete understanding, the kids retain it. You don't need to revisit it. Now, of course, the beauty of mathematics is that you revisit everything because everything builds up. It's just like teaching a language in that sense. When you teach a child, you know, how to spell dog or cat, it will keep coming up because they write stories and the word dog, cat will keep coming up. So they keep practicing it even as they work on more difficult concepts. But that's one of the keys, to teach concepts at a very deep level that are based on understanding, and then you don't run into this roadblock that you do otherwise, where a kid says, "Oh, I learned it last year, so I don't remember it anymore." Take a look at what we do every September when the kids come back to school. Complete review of last year for 2 months, usually September, October, is reviewing what we did before. Why? Because we forgot everything. Why did we forget everything? Because we never understood it in the first place. When I ask a kid, "What's your name?" and they say, "Steven," I say, "Do you remember it or do you know it?" That's the difference. I want them to know mathematics, not to remember it. Because when you know something, there is nothing really to memorize. That should be the level of understanding.